I said it depends on your age. Going through ADFA was really good because it gave me that sort of higher education about myself. So I know that I learn tactile kinesthetic and I learn through teaching other people. And once you know how you're going to pick stuff up, when you go to pilot's course, you can go, okay, these are the ways I'm going to study. And pilot's course is really about smashing you. They try and overload you with how much stuff you're learning.
Work smarter, not harder.
Work smarter, absolutely.
Yeah.
So going in both ways are fine. I'd recommend ADFA if you're going to go in straight out of high school. Direct entry if you've had a bit more life experience before you.
So there's a few stages of training to become a Navy pilot. We start doing fixed wing flying with the Air Force on pilot's course. That takes about 2 years, and then we graduate with our military wings. After that, we come over to the Navy and we start flying rotary aircraft. So we do a rotary conversion and then move on to an operational type, which for me was the MRH-90. But I think the really good thing about flying with the Navy is that they taught me everything that I needed to know about every aircraft that I've flown. So it's given me the confidence to be able to go forward, especially on an operational type, and know everything about the technology that I'm using.
Aerobatics would probably be the best part. When I went through, we flew CT4s, which is a little sort of simple aircraft. Then we flew the PC-9, which is what the roulettes fly. You spent 9 months flying the PC-9 over in Pierce. That was the best part for me. That'll shortly be done through the PC-21. The first part of flying training I found was maybe the scariest, just when you're learning how to literally take off and land. Then you do a bit more of the heads down using the system stuff. But then the second half of pilot's course is when you just do all the amazing stuff. You learn to fly in close formation. So you're running around with another aircraft 3 metres off your wingtip, or more fun, 3 metres in front of you, yeah, you're trying to hang on to. You do low-level navigation, so you'll be beetling around at around 400 kilometres an hour, 50 metres above the Earth, without a GPS, just with a paper map in your hands.
Like what these guys are doing.
And the navigation and aerobatics. When you're pulling up vertically and locking the controls in and the aircraft's just flopping out of the sky,
Yeah.
it's some really fun.
It looks unreal.
You see a lot of the camouflage uniform getting around on ADF personnel, whether it be in RAF or Army. And the difference, if they were to hop in the jet and something would go wrong in the jet, so i.e. if it caught fire, then that suit would just stick to their skin and it would be quite unpleasant for the person there. So wearing a flying suit gives us a bit more protection from any sort of flash fire in the cockpit, and it also stopped the flying suit from melting to my skin in the event of those kind of emergencies.
Well, the MRH-90 is pretty cool because unlike most other helicopters out there, it's fly-by-wire, so it doesn't have the push and pull rods of a normal aircraft. It's all done by electronic signals. The helmets that we also use are pretty cool. They're called a top owl, and it's a big visor that has a heads-up display and a lot of other cool cameras on it, with the best camera being a pilotage FLIR, which is a forward-looking infrared camera, and I can look through the floor. So if that's up on my visor and I look down, I can sort of see what's below the aircraft in an infrared picture, so that's pretty cool.
People just assume, okay, you're in the Air Force, you must be a pilot.
Yeah.
But there's so many different roles that you can look at, and I like to shine a torch on those jobs that haven't had the spotlight put on them before.
There are support roles available.
Yeah, like mine.
I actually spent some time yesterday out front the Black Hawk with Hayley, and we had a little bit of a chat about her support roles. So what is the difference between your role and the mission support?
So mission support and ground crewman aircraft support used to be the same role, but because the role became so specialised, they split the two. So mission support, they do all the radio communications. So you can do that communications role in other roles in the Australian Army, but we also have it specialised in Army aviation. Then we've got myself, so ground crewman aircraft support, and what we do is we do all the fuel and explosive ordnance on the aircraft. When they go out and they do a weapon shoot, we'll prep that EO, we'll also load the EO so that way they can go fire it all off, and then if they come back with any, we take it off and we pack it all back up.
So what kind of skills and qualifications do you pick up in this job?
So I've got quite a few skills, everything from driver qualifications, so the big fleet liner trucks that you see out on Civilian Street, I can drive those. Plus as well, all my fuel qualifications, so I can test fuel, I can refuel aircraft in a civilian airport as well.
For me, it's the challenge. There's a real big variety, and that's what I like about aviation. The weather's changing, the mission's changing, the location's changing. For me, where that all sort of comes together is landing on a ship at sea. Nighttime onto a pitching and rolling deck. That's Yeah, that's my
lots of
favourite
training,
part.
lots of training.
Yeah.
I could work, say, for Qantas or Virgin, doing Canberra, Sydney, Canberra 6 times a day and just be bored. Or I could fly our Prime Minister or Governor General around and facilitate the business of government, basically. They can't do their job without us. And I just love getting out and doing something different every day.
My first tour at 3 Squadron flying the Hornet, I got to go to Guam within 2 months of being there. So participating in large force exercises just really opened my mind to what the larger world scale of military flying is. So that was my posting at 3 Squadron. After that, I went to 77 Squadron, where I got to participate in Operation Okra, so flying the Hornet in Iraq, actually doing what we've been trained to do on the jet from day one.